Got the special guest here once again, Mr. Kenny Ellis, Coach Ellis. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Can't call it. So, what I wanted to ask you was, what do you got to say to the people who says that Lamont Roach is not a suitable opponent for Tank to be fighting right now?
They got it all wrong. Lamont Roach is a 130-pound champion. Lamont Roach have a amateur pedigree. He came up through the rankings with Tank. They fought twice, and he's a great fighter.
All right. So, what's the record between them two fighting in the amateurs?
If I'm mistaken, is Tank beat him 2 times or he beat him 3 times, something like that.
Okay, so with Lamont Roach losing to a guy, Jamel Herring, and regaining the title, and also being down a weight class, having to come up to fight Tank, it's people who gonna feel as though that Tank is not going for the caliber of fighters that he should be.
Jamel Herring was a former champion at the time. He's an Olympian. He's a great fighter. Some people just don't know boxing or who they're looking at. And don't forget, Tank came from 126 pounds. So why can't another fighter come from a lower weight class and do what Tank did? You know what I mean? Not saying that he's going to beat Tank, but who knows what the outcome is going to be. But
any given night,
the same way Tank came up, he has the right to come up. You know what I mean? If he feel like he can do it and won't nobody else fight Tank, why not?
So for everybody who says that Tank is cherry picking or he's not trying to fight these guys, do you have any notion? Can you tell me anything of, did he send contracts out to Loma or Shakur or?
Tank had 200 plus amateur fights. He's seen all styles. When a fighter comes through the amateurs like that, they ain't scared to fight nobody. Tank has sent out contracts, and certain people turn them down. You know,
So the guys that we really want to see him fight, they turned down the fight.
But so we ain't gonna sit still. You know what I mean?
Right.
We ain't gonna wait by the well for nobody.
You definitely got to keep busy.
Exactly.
But it's also the fact of we've heard Tank say multiple times he doesn't plan on staying in the sport much longer. If I'm not mistaken, I think this would be the 5th fight on his 6-fight contract.
I'm not sure what. I'm not sure if it's the 5th or 6th, but Tank can wake up tomorrow and say, "Fuck that contract. I don't want to fight anymore." Every fighter has the right to stop whenever.
That's the question I want to ask. With the limited, if the contract is valid and he fights through the contract, with the limited number of fights available, do you think we'll ever see him in the ring with the big names that everybody wants to see him fight?
If the big names, if the guys, so-called big names, willing to take, step up, it's not us.
So part of it is, a lot of these guys are in the upper weight classes, and it doesn't seem like Tank have any budge on that. So
like I tell everybody, Tank last fight he weighed in at 132 pounds.
Right.
The only way he can go up if he put rocks in his pocket and drink 20 gallons of water.
Well, what about people who say there's a video that's going around where you can hear people talking in the background after he weighed in, I think the Barrios fight, and somebody saying, he walk around 160.
That's somebody that don't know what the hell they talking about, something they heard somebody.
That was just an audio clip.
If you go back after the Barrios fight, Tank said this ain't my weight class. He beat Barrios, but he said it's not my weight class.
So, I don't want to speculate, but basically what it sounds like you're saying is Tank is never going up to 140.
Who knows what might happen in the future, but right now, his weight, when he trained, his weight
dropped down.
Yeah. That's Tank,
He a little guy, he 5'5", so I don't know how much weight.
How heavy do they want him to get? A lot of these fans are so, it's like they stressed out because they can't get the fight that they want, but it's not our fault, so they throw a tantrum like a baby. I want that candy bar, I want it, can't have that candy bar.
So what do you think would be the plausible situation where everybody win? Tanks win, the fans win. What's the fight in this division besides the Shakur? Because the streets cross the streets and all that. He signed with Riyadh and all that, so we're just going to eliminate him altogether. A Zepeda probably could happen because we seen Golden Boy and PBC with Ryan link up.
Lomachenko, he might take it.
But I'm gonna throw Lomachenko out of there too because Bob Arum keeps a lot of his fights in house. He don't really need.
Yeah, he protect him.
Yeah.
Right now, it's whoever step up. It's up to Tank or whoever step up. You know what I mean?
So basically, Tank
no work.
is going to fight whoever ready to fight him.
Whoever willing have the heart to step up. A lot of them get on the internet and they do this and do that, but behind the scenes they're being protected, and that's why they do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's why they do it. But Tank is from Baltimore, man.
Yes, sir.
200 plus amateur fights. He ain't scared of nothing.
So I know they make weight classes, but do you think his power is what's the problem with him not wanting to go up to 140? Because he fought there,
and he was smaller. You
right?
know what I mean?
Right.
It's like people want to see him get beat. They want to see him get
I don't
beat.
think they want to see him get beat. I think it's more so people want to see him challenge himself.
What it is, the fighters he's been in the ring with, Tank make it look easy, but those guys will give the other so-called top guys a problem. In Tank's era, I'm talking like the Four Kings.
Right.
Now I'm not talking about Abdullah and them, the guys that came up with Tank. The guys that Tank beat will give them problems. So that's why they say Tank ain't fight nobody, because Tank make it look easy. He make it look that easy. You know what I mean?
Because I mean,
what's his name? The one that,
Keyshawn?
No, the one that Haney taking to court.
Ryan
Garcia jumped on Tank in the first 2 rounds.
Which he should have
And
did.
like the time he's supposed to, you
Weather the storm.
And he jumped on Haney in the first 2 rounds, and what happened?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's the difference between Tank and the other guys. Haney wasn't on no drugs. He jumped on Haney the same way he jumped on Tank. Garcia did.
All right. Well, speaking on Haney, since you just mentioned Haney, what do you think what do you think he should do for his career?
I think he should rematch Garcia and then see what's next. Stick with the plan though. Don't try to bang with Garcia. If you get on that jab and use that range, he can get past the first 3 or 4 rounds. He can beat Garcia.
Okay.
He can beat him, but you got to weather that storm because the first 3 or 4 rounds, Garcia gonna give you the blues after that. Ain't average.
This is my only problem with Devin Haney. Great boxer, great skill, very athletic. You can't train your chin. Do you just take a bunch of punches to the face to train it? How do you train?
Train it. You can't,
right.
You can't train it. But,
so if you just can't take a punch,
that's true. I think if you box,
you're gonna get hit.
I don't care what you do. You're gonna get hit. I think if you box Garcia here and stick with the plan, he can beat him. He can outpoint him. You don't have to knock him out. He can outpoint him. But remember, with Garcia, the first 3 rounds gonna be hell.
Yeah, for sure.
Past that storm.
What did you think about the bit of Bivol?
I was going for Bivol. I still think he did enough to win. Fell short the last 3 or 4 rounds, but he won the first 6 and he won some of the second half. So my question is, how did he lose?
But how do you in boxing you got something called the championship rounds. And there's no extra points for it. But that's where the fight is normally won in the championship rounds.
They want to see
when it's close.
Strong, but
right.
Because you don't fight the last 2 or 3 rounds, they shouldn't erase what you did in the early part of the fight, you know?
Yeah, but
the first half.
Look at Loma. He could have been undisputed 2-3 times had he not let off the gas.
Yeah.
So you can never.
But Loma got beat. on paper.
Okay.
When he fell short, he got beat. Bivol didn't get beat. I didn't see it, you know.
So you would call it for Bivol, not a draw, not
I'd have had him edging it out.
okay.
Yeah, I'd have had him edging it out for sure.
Who you think will win in the rematch versus Tyson, Fury, and Usyk?
I'm going with Tyson Fury.
You think he pull it out this time?
Yeah. You know,
What do you think would be the determining factor in him winning that fight?
That jab. Get on that jab. Be energetic every round. Hit me.
Okay.
Yep.